Good evening, everybody. I'm back. I say good evening because that's the time that I have right here. It could be morning to you if you're in China and you're in India or something like that. I don't know the outreach, but I'm hoping it's a lot. I'm hoping it gets to China and India, and then you could listen to this whatever the time of day you want. So I prefer in the evening. I do my recordings, but you could listen to it whenever. Anyway, I'm back. It's Anthony the Fool's You here. Very happy to be back. And guess what? I got an Instagram and I got a Twitter now. I had a couple of the guys do their computer magic and they set this account up for us. So now you're gonna follow at Wise Guy Fantasy. I know, it sounds a little sexual, but they told me the shorter it is, the better and easier it'll be to follow me. That's at Wise Guy Fantasy. And you gotta put the A symbol in there. It's not AT, okay? I made that mistake. Couldn't find myself for fucking hours. At Wise Guy Fantasy, Instagram, and Twitter. We're working on a Facebook. We're working on a MySpace. Okay, little by little. I can't do fucking everything around here. Okay, you want the fantasy advice or do you want the social medias? As always, find this on YouTube and iTunes, Apple Podcasts. They've been very great. Okay, I'm loving what they're doing here. And I love talking to you guys. And today we're going to do our Rookie Roundup. So this is where I take all 32 picks from the first round and I tell you whether or not to draft them for your fantasy team this year. Okay, nice and simple stuff. We're going to have a good time. Everybody here is having a good time. Everybody watching. So I got to tell you, there's a funny story that happened. I was a little late today. That's why I say good evening, because it was a little late today, because I lost my headphones on the way here. Right? I'm looking. I put the headphones in because I got to hear my voice as I'm doing this, make sure I sound good to you guys. So I'm looking around for my headphones. I'm saying, oh my God, I must have left them on the couch. I go on the couch, they're not there. I say, oh my God, I left them in my bed. Because sometimes I listen to music in the bed. I go in the bed, it's not there either. So I sit down eventually and say, oh my God, I guess I got to do this whole thing without the headphones. And motherfucker, it's in my left pocket. I mean, you guys ever do this before? You ever leave your headphones in your pocket, almost like your car keys? You leave them in there? If you did that, like or comment that with a story, because that'd be pretty funny. I want to talk about more things like that on this podcast. I really do. Football is really good, but I want this to be a family podcast. You understand? Everybody can listen to it of all ages. Maybe we'll call it Wise Guy Fantasy Football. Family football, rather. Wise Guy Family. I might talk to the designers to change the logo. Anyway, here we are. I got my headphones. They're not in my pockets anymore. They're in my ears. And we're going to talk about the rookies drafted in a 2018 NFL Draft. Okay, here we go. Here's where you're going to determine whether or not you should draft these guys. All right, number 1, Cleveland Browns. They had a lot of picks this first round, okay? 2 in the top 4. First round, they draft first overall pick Baker Mayfield's, the quarterback from Oklahoma. Okay, a Baker. He's a guy that puts bread in the oven and makes sure it comes out nice. Mayfield. That's the thing that the Pilgrims sailed on to get here to America. Okay? You wouldn't think that putting the two of them together would make a quarterback, but here we are. Okay? Baker Mayfield. He's looked good this preseason, made some good throws. He's made some good throws. He made some good throws even against my Giants. Okay? Truth be told, he scored a couple of touchdowns on Alec Ogletree, that bum that we traded for, or they gave up fucking 5 touchdowns this preseason or something. Baker Mayfield has looked good. He's behind Tyrod Taylor in the draft order right now, on the depth chart rather. He's behind him. I still say, take a flyer on him and draft him. I would draft him for my fantasy team. I'm not saying first round, but maybe second. Maybe second round, depending on what you do in the first round. Take him in the second and fall in love with him like I have. Baker Mayfield. Number 2, Saquon Barkley, running back from Penn State. I'll keep this one very short because I love Saquon Barkley and I love his fucking thighs. Okay? This guy's gonna run so hard, it's gonna move fucking mountains. Okay, you draft him, you do him in the first round. We covered him on my last episode, the top 50 fantasy players extravaganza. If you haven't heard from that, stop this. Stop the podcast and go listen to the other one. Okay? Okay, because there's an order to these things. You got to listen to one before the other. But you're going to want to draft Saquon Barkley. Okay, he's going to be really good. All right, number 3. The New York Jets have drafted Sam Darnold, the quarterback out of the University of Southern California. Now remember, this was a draft pick that was given to the Jets by the Colts for some fucking reason, as if they didn't have any holes of their own. I like Sammy Darnold. I think he's been playing fairly well. Did have a rough last preseason in week 2. We're going back now. Okay. He's going to do pretty well for the Jets. If he starts, kind of like a Tyrod Taylor, Baker Mayfield situation there. Okay, he's behind Teddy Bridgewater on the depth chart. I'd wait on Sam Darnold, maybe till like the 4th round. Now after you get your quarterback, your wide receiver, you say to yourself, I need a backup quarterback right now. Okay, I'm going to take Sammy Darnold's 4th round quarterback. All right, number 4, Cleveland Browns, Denzel Ward, cornerback from Ohio State. I don't know who the fuck this guy is, okay? This is one of those stupid Cleveland Browns moves they make every year. They always draft some fucking schmuck out of Bumblefuck State. And you say to yourself, who the fuck is this? Why don't they take a better guy on the board? Okay, the Browns do this every year. I'm not going to draft this guy. Keep him off your team, Denzel. Okay, the only Denzel I follow is Washington, and even his movies have dipped lately. I have to admit, I hate to bring Denzel Washington into this and start criticizing the guy, but I don't think his movies have been that great. I mean, there was one, he was the lawyer or something. I don't like that one. Anyway, don't draft Denzel Ward on your fantasy team. Number 5, Bradley Chubb, defensive end, NC State. This guy is a really good pass rusher. I would draft him. Okay, I don't know how long you want to wait for him, but I would take him on a team. He's got Chubb in a name, which means he's probably half hard all the time anyway. And you know what happens when you're aroused and you're on a football field. Okay? You run a little bit harder, you're a little bit more emotional, a little bit more hormonal. You get to the quarterback better. I would take this guy. Number 6, taken off the board. This was the pick the Colts had from the Jets. Quentin Nelson, the guard from Notre Dame. The Fighting Irish. Ain't there a better college team than the Fighting Irish? I love those boys. You could always do well with the Fighting Irish guy. Take this guard from Notre Dame. He's going to block Andrew Luck so he doesn't break his pelvis and all the other bones in his body again. Okay? Quentin Nelson is a guy that you want to take. All right? Quentin Nelson. Number 7, Josh Allen. Now, this was a Tampa Bay switcheroo with the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills are kind of trash. They're the weakest of the 3 New York teams. Josh Allen, don't know what he's doing here. Josh Allen might start behind a literal trash can. Okay? I don't know who's the quarterback depth chart yet. Okay? I don't know it. I wouldn't take this guy. I know a lot of people saying, Josh Allen, wow, he's a good quarterback. He's a rookie. I would take him. But I wouldn't take him. Okay? I'd pass on this guy for somebody else. Because there are the quarterbacks available. There's Tommy Brady. There's Aaron Rodgers. You know, even my old friend Eli. I'd take him over Josh Allen. Josh Allen, wait until the latest round. Maybe like the 5th round. Okay? Maybe like the 5th round. Don't take him until then. I wouldn't take him. He's off my list. Okay? But I wouldn't take him. Okay, number 8. Roquan Smith. That linebacker out of Georgia. Good linebackers coming from Georgia. That's all I'm going to say about that. He just signed his rookie deal. Finally, with the Chicago Bears. Okay, the Bears. That's my Chicago accent. Thank you. Leave a like or comment if you like that. Roquan Smith, he's going to do some things the Chicago Bears D hasn't done since 1985. And I love them for that. Okay, they're going back to the defense. They made him well. I would take back Mike Ditka. Okay, if he wanted to play again, he's an old guy. But he could step right back in there. He could coach. He could play again. Take Roquan Smith. It's a good thing. Same for 49ers. Another Notre Dame guy, Mike McGlinchey, offensive tackle. I love this pick because you know how much I love Jimmy Garoppolo. He's going to play very well this year. He's going to play so well. And now they got a guy blocking for him. Absolutely A+ pick in Mike McGlinchey. He's a guy, maybe you get him in the 1st round. If he falls to you. You know what I understand? If he falls in the first round, don't go reaching for him, okay? It's not a reaching scenario here. But you could wait for him to fall to you, Mike McGlinchey. Okay, number 10. So we're moving right along here, okay? And I still don't get, I'm fucking thirsty. So if somebody could bring me a glass of water. That's all I'm asking for. That's all I'm asking for. I'm going out of breath here. I've been in the gym for so long. It's been a long time. I gotta go back. I'd go back now, but I don't think I can pause this thing. Okay? I need to go back to the gym. If anyone has a good gym, like, comment. Please let me know. I need a fucking good gym. Okay. Number 10. Josh Rosenberg, quarterback from the UCLA's. Okay? Josh Rosenberg. Guy should have been a lawyer, but no. He wants to be a quarterback instead. Who knows? Maybe in this rate, he's good with the numbers. Maybe he can move around the field a little bit more. He says, oh, I'm at the 40, need to get to the 50. Boom, boom, boom. Punches it on the calculator when he's in the pocket. I don't know. I'm just predicting these things. Then he calculates how much he's got to throw the ball to the next guy. Okay? Josh Rosen. If you like numbers, I would draft the guy. If you don't like numbers, you say Anthony. Oh, I don't like numbers. I'm more of an English guy. I'm more of a culinary student. Someone culinary equals someone that doesn't use numbers. Okay? If you're one of those kind of people, I would skip on Josh Rosenberg. Okay? Number 11, Miami Dolphins select Minkah Fitzpatrick, safety out of Alabama. Of course, Alabama, the Nick Saban program. Everybody's pro-ready in there. Take Minkah Fitzpatrick. You won't regret it. Alabama. There's more Alabama players coming, I'm sure of it, okay? Number 12, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select someone who isn't trash, Vita V, or Vita Vea, PS Vita, whatever the fuck this is, defensive tackle from Washington. You know what? I'm going to skip this player because I already screwed up his name a bunch of times. I don't even want to think about him anymore. Don't take this guy. Okay, number 13, Washington Redskins, Darren Payne. Another D tackle from Alabama. Okay? The Redskins suck. The Redskins are so tush. They should be called the Buttskins. Okay? I wouldn't touch this guy with a 10-foot pole. Even though he's from Alabama. The stink from the Washington Buttskins is going to rub off of him. He's not going to be a good pick. I tell you to skip that one. Number 14. Now, this was a big moment in the draft, if you guys remember. The Saints traded up. They traded the Packers for this pick. Marcus Davenport, the defensive end out of Texas San Antonio. Great town, by the way. I've been there. Very hot, very conservative. Just how I like it. Nice town. Okay? Marcus Davenport, the writing, how they say, is on the walls with him. Okay? We don't know if he's going to be good, if he's going to be bad, if he's going to be in line with the number 14 pick. But all I know is Sean Payton's is all over this guy like fly on shit. Okay? Marcus Davenport. If you remember last year, Sean Payton's was very high on Alvin Kamara. Okay? Now Alvin Kamara came out and was a fantasy stud man. Okay? He was fantastic. So now, you know what? I'll trust Sean Payton's judgment. Marcus Davenport is now someone I would consider drafting. That is a check mark from me. Write this down, guys, because, you know what? I'm saying so many of these things, I'm going to forget it. I don't want to tell the audience that, but really, it's in one ear and out the other. Okay? I'm just offering advice. Somebody write this all down. Write the point system down because I'm not going to remember it. Okay. Number 15, the Oakland Raiders. John Gruden's team. They drafted Colton Miller, offensive tackle from UCLA's. Okay. Colton Miller. Sounds like the kid at school that you want to punch square in the fucking face. I don't know anything about this guy. All I know, he was considered too high at the time. The draft, I don't like that. The LA Raiders going to have to go back to the well on that one. You know what I would write? I'd write the NFL. I'd write a small letter to Roger Goodell and say, listen, we fucked up with Colton Miller. We want somebody else. Please give us somebody else. And Roger Goodell opens the envelope, says, you know what, we'll provide you with that. And maybe they get him somebody like Michael Crabtree back. Maybe do a little trade-off, something like that. That's what I would suggest. Don't touch this guy, okay? Number 16. We're halfway there. Tremaine Edmonds, inside linebacker from Virginia Tech on the Bills. Again, since it's the Bills and they stink, I don't want to touch this guy. Okay? I don't want to touch this guy. Number 17, the LA Chargers select Derwin James, the safety out of Florida State. Okay, the Florida State Seminoles. Now, they're a good organization. They've been coached up a lot. Okay, I know a guy who's a big Miami Hurricane fan, the division rival, so I'm surrounded by it. I don't love it. He tries to force it on me, these Hurricanes, but I don't really love it. So I'm guessing because all those schools are so competitive, Derwin James is pretty good. Okay, he's going to a good Chargers team. I'll let it be where it is. You choose whether you want to draft him or not. I wouldn't take him unless he fell to me in the third round. Okay. Green Bay Packers take Jerry Alexander, cornerback from Louisville. It's another trade from Seattle. Okay, Green Bay and Seattle did a little thing behind the scenes, did a little thing under the covers. Okay, and now the Packers finally got somebody in the secondary that's not just going to play with the fucking cock all day. Okay? Because let's face it, if you're a Packers fan, you're looking on the field, you're saying, Aaron Rodgers, he's so good. But who on the fucking defense is going to screw this up for me? Who's going to screw it up for the Packers? It happens every year. You can't deny it. Okay? Jerry Alexander. This might be a guy that's worth taking. Number 19. On the Dallas Cowboys. It's probably some bum. And it is. Leighton Vander Esch. Okay, I'm not going to touch this. Boise State inside linebacker. You do the fucking math. Number 20. Detroit Lions take Frank Ragnow, a center from Arkansas, or a corner. I don't know. It says the letter C. What the fuck could that mean? That could mean everything. It sounds like a chef. Frank Ragnow. Fuck out of here. Detroit Lions. They'll finish 6-10 again or some shit. Number 21. The Cincinnati Bengals take a guy from Ohio State. I believe this is the first guy to come off of the board at Ohio State. No, I take that back. Denzel Ward. Oh, that guy. That guy's from Ohio State. You know, there's so many fucking schools on here. It's hard to keep track of it. I don't know how people do it. Billy Price. Sounds like a 90s protagonist, okay? Sounds like somebody out of a fucking 90s movie. A 90s kid that learns a lesson by the end of the movie or something like that. Billy Price, okay? Do with that knowledge what you will. In fact, if you could tell me some 90s protagonist that he reminds you of, like and comment, I'd really appreciate it. Okay, number 22, Tennessee Titans. Rashaan Evans, another outside linebacker from Alabama. Take with a capital T. Capital T, Rashaan Evans. That's just got a nice ring to it. That sounds like somebody who's going to don a gold jacket. I like that. I like the Titans. Number 23, New England Patriots are going to take Isaiah Wynn, a tackle from Georgia. Now, this pick was lauded as well because it's the Patriots. And of course, whenever they draft, they're always expected to take the next Tom Brady. Even though they did it once, and it was 18 years ago, and it was in the 6th round. Okay, let's be realistic here, people. You can't grab Tom Brady in every round. If you grab Tom Brady in every round, first of all, you'd have to clone 31 Tom Bradys. And I don't think the science is there yet. Second of all, it means every team in the NFL would be good. And then you'd have nobody wins the Super Bowl because teams would just keep tying. That's how good they are. That's why I'm breaking down why Isaiah Wynn had to get chosen here at tackle for the New England Patriots. I'd take him. If Belichick takes him, wouldn't you take him too? Number 24, the Carolina Panthers take DJ Moore, a wide receiver out of Maryland. I like this guy. He's a good rookie fantasy play wide receiver-wise. He's looked good on the field. He's caught a lot of balls from Cam Newton, more than his mistresses. Okay, as I assume there are. And he looks like a guy who's going to step into the role that Kelvin Benjamin's vacated when he went to the fucking other place, to the Bills, to the shitty Bills. Could you believe that? Guy leaves South Carolina, living a life, good weather, cheap living spaces, and he goes to Buffalo where it snows 90% of the time. I don't get that. I'm not here to analyze that, okay? If you want to analyze that, if you want to tell me what it's like to live in Buffalo, again, like and comment down below. Number 25. Before that, I would take DJ Moore. Let's just put that out there. I'd take DJ Moore, and I'd take him high. I'd take him like 2nd round if he drops to you. Number 25. Hayden Hurst Hemsley, from the tight end from South Carolina. Okay, he's going on the Ravens. John Harbaugh must really love him. Okay, they probably draft a tight end every year, and then he's the guy that gets injured by week 2. So do with that what you will. I'm going to leave Hayden Hurst Helmsley there, although I really do love that name. Number 26, another wide receiver in the vein of DJ Moore and the Carolina Panthers, Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley, wide receiver from Alabama. He's going to step in when Julio Jones decides to quit stucking his thumb and come on the field because he's not getting paid enough. Julio Jones, I tell you, who's not getting paid enough? You know what I mean? Once he decides to get off the field or get back on the field, whatever the fuck, Calvin Ridley's going to step in, and he's going to be playing pretty well. He's going to catch the ball from Matty Ice. He's going to score a lot of touchdowns, and ensuing, score a lot of touchdowns for your fantasy team. So if I had a draft right now, I'd have Baker Mayfield's, okay? Again, not somebody who bakes bread. He's just a baker. That's just his first name. I'd have DJ Moore as my wide receiver 1. And I'd have Calvin Ridley as my wide receiver 2. On my all-rookie team. Okay? A guy who you would take, in addition to Saquon Barkley, is the next pick in a draft. See the transition there? I'm working on these things. Okay? That was a nice, what do they call that? A segue. Right? A nice segue from one place to another. It's when you do something really well, and then you do the next thing really well, and it sounds really nice when you're doing that. That's your word of the day. Remember, like and comment your word of the day. Like and comment it. So the next one is Rashad Penny. So along with Saquon Barkley, you want Rashad Penny, which is who the Seattle Seahawks drafted, number 27 overall, out of San Diego State. Okay, he's pretty good. Although I think he's injured for the first month as I'm going through my notes here, so maybe, you know what? Not so good. Maybe you don't take him. Okay? It depends on how you tolerate the injuries. Because sometimes the injury is bad, sometimes the injury is not so bad. Okay? You take it where you can. Okay? Number 28. Terrell Edmonds, safety out of Virginia Tech for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers will be in the AFC Championship and lose like they do every year. Doesn't matter who they draft. I'd leave this guy alone. Number 29. Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay? You got Taven Bryan, defensive tackle from Florida. Okay? Another guy who's going to make that Jacksonville D good. I'd take that guy. That's a thumbs up from me. That's a gold star. So when you go back and listen to the podcast, you say, Anthony the Fools, yo, who's got the gold stars here? Taven Bryan. He's got one. Okay? I'm instructing everybody else in the room so that they know what to write down when I'm done here. Okay? Number 30. Mike Hughes, cornerback, Central Florida. That's the 30th guy taken in a draft. Okay? Mike Hughes. Mike Hughes what? That's what I want to know. Number 31. The New England Patriots are back on the board. And everyone wonders every year, oh, the fuck? Why are the Patriots so good? Why are they just a guaranteed lock to go to the Super Bowl? And here we are. It's because they draft out of their fucking minds. This guy's taken Sony Michel, running back from Georgia. Okay? Sony Michel. I believe Sony is a multimedia company. I don't know the names by chance. I think my TV is a Sony. And if he's as good as my TV, then motherfuck, you should probably take this guy. And he's going to fill in one of the many roles the New England Patriots running backs have. Okay, James White usually catches the ball, does a little running and scores. You had Mike Gillislee that got transferred there. He's doing much of the same stuff. Essentially, Bill Belichick just plays a bunch of running backs. They're all interchangeable, and they're all as good as a Sony TV. So you're going to want to take this guy. All right? And last, but certainly not least, okay, number 32, the Baltimore Ravens have selected, ba-da-da-dang, quarterback from Louisville, Lamar Jackson. And this guy is the next RG knee, let me tell you. I hope he doesn't break his knees like RG knee did, but he's going to be the guy to really light the league on fire when Joe Flacco eventually erupts into a fiery explosion, as we all know his stupid sorry ass is bound to do, okay? Bench, if you're a Ravens fan right here, let me get your attention, okay? You sitting down? No, I really mean it. Sit the fuck down right now. Joe Flacco will never win a Super Bowl for your team. He sucks. He'll never do anything for your team. If he becomes a Super Bowl winner, no matter what happens, I'll eat my own fucking shorts, okay? I'll shove them right down my throat. If you tell me in a comment section, say, you know what? I think that Joe Flacco's a Super Bowl winner, I'm going to tell you to eat my fucking dick, okay? And I'll eat my shorts. Because that guy is a fucking farce. He's a farce. Lamar Jackson should start. Okay, John Harbaugh's out of his fucking mind, just like his brother Jim, who's probably going insane being in Michigan. Nobody talks about it, but he was ousted from the NFL. Okay, and now he's fucking going insane being in a straitjacket in Michigan. I could guarantee it. And it's because he passed on guys like Colin Kaepernick and Lamar Jackson. So John Harbaugh, if you're listening, Ravens fans, I would write letters to John Harbaugh and say, hey, bench Joe Flacco. He's not a Super Bowl guy. We want Lamar. And that's that. Okay? And that's that. I would draft Lamar Jackson as early as you possibly can. Not quite first round. but maybe second. Okay. So these are the guys. Let's just do a quick recap here. These are the guys I would take in the first round. These are the guys I would take in your fantasy draft based on the first round. I'd take Baker Mayfield, Saquon Barkley, Sam Darnold, Bradley Chubb, Quentin Nelson, Roquan Smith, Mike McGlinchey, Josh Rosenberg, only if you're comfortable with the numbers. I take Minka Fitzpatrick. Then I got a bunch of these guys that I don't even fucking remember what I said about each of them. Isaiah Wynn, again because he's a Patriot. DJ Moore and Calvin Ridley, two good receivers. And then maybe take Sony Michel and definitely Lamar Jackson if you're with me and think Joe Flacco sucks absolute donkey balls. Okay, all right. That's the rookie roundup we have for today. And when you win your fantasy championship, all I ask is that you credit me somewhere on a trophy or somewhere in your acceptance speech. That's all I ask. Just say, listen, I wouldn't have done this without the advice of Anthony the Foolsio and a Wise Guy Fantasy Football podcast. Okay, that's all you gotta say. And it'll be much appreciated. Until next week, guys. Okay, this was a good episode. I really love this one. Okay, we're talking to youngsters. I care a lot about our youth. I try to donate to them. I try to help them out whenever I can. Sometimes I go to the middle of the field, it's a playground, and I hold a kid's hand and I say, hey, buddy, I hope you do well. And then usually the parent says, what the fuck are you doing? And I say, listen, hold on, I'm only trying to help. And then anyway, I like helping the youth. Listen, follow me on Wise Guy Fantasy Football either through Apple, iTunes, or YouTube. And find me on Instagram and Twitter at Wise Guy Fantasy. Remember, it's the at symbol, okay? At Wise Guy Fantasy. And I'll see you next time. Okay? All right, I'm out of breath. I'll tell you that much. Okay? I need somebody to get me a glass of water right fucking now. And I'm not playing. Okay? I can't be doing this every fucking week. Every fucking week without a glass of water. It's like unprofessional around here. Okay? Very unprofessional.